Hello, everybody. I am excited. This is going to be such a good conversation. It's a conversation that needs to be had. So I'm really excited about that. As you are coming in, go ahead and grab any of your oils. I don't care which ones you're going to play with. I just put on some deep relief. I absolutely love this one. I use it like all the time. Probably every time that you guys see me do a Facebook Live or even in person, you will see me using my deep relief. And then I'm going to put on some wintergreen because, listen, it is hot in here. Do you want to know how much I love you people? I am in here instead of being in my pool. And it's hot, and I had to have the window closed because it's been raining on and off, and you could hear all that rain going on. So I'm in here putting on my wintergreen. It will help keep me nice and cool. And I do have one fan on, but my good fan, way too loud. We had it on earlier doing one, and people couldn't hear me talking. So I went ahead and turned it off. So I did wintergreen, I did deep relief, and I'm going to do a little bit of joy because what's today's class all about? We are talking about emotional wellness. So I'm going to do joy. We're going to talk about joy in a few minutes, but I'm going to put a little bit on. So let me know in the comments what oils are you putting on and what's the reason behind the ones that you're using. And then how do you use them on a regular basis? So you're going to notice I put my joy. I made sure I got that all over my heart. We'll talk about why in a little bit. So hopefully closing my curtains is going to help a little bit. I had some people saying that the curtain being open made it where they couldn't see the top of my head. So hopefully you're able to see all of my head now because I think that makes it better. And then I'm going to put on some harmony. Harmony is one that we don't chit chat a lot about, but do you think harmony is something we need in today's world? You bet your bippy. So I'm going to put on a little bit of harmony and try to get some of that started for us. A little bit of peace, a little bit of joy. Exactly. Getting it rubbing on. All right. So I am all oiled up. And I'm going to tell you, I'm really going to try to keep all of these, I want to say 10 minutes, but I'm thinking more like 15. But I gave myself an hour for today because there's so much to talk about. And this is like such a big deal. This is affecting, like, this is a worldwide thing. This isn't you or me or, here in Michigan. This is like the whole world. It has just kind of turned upside down. So I'm just saying. And when I typed up my notes for today's class, there's 4 pages. I don't know if y'all can see. Tiny print, just 4 pages of notes, and then extra stuff in case I have time for a class I'm going to try to do in 10 minutes. We'll see how it goes. I am going to keep it short, and I just want to make sure that I hit on some stuff other than oils. I will talk about oils. You guys know oils are my thing. But with everything that's going on right now, I think there's other pieces we have to talk about. And why this is such an important topic for me is some experiences I just recently went through. So I ended up having emergency open heart surgery because of some stuff I had going on. That's a whole nother class. But while I was in there going through the whole process, I ended up being put on a ventilator for a long period of time. And when you're on a ventilator, among other things, you lose your voice. You're not able to um, speak. You can hear everything that's going on, but you can't stand up for yourself. And while I was still in the hospital, the COVID happened. Ah! And when it happened, they stopped allowing any visitors to come. So suddenly I'm in this new place. I'm in the hospital. I'm sick as can be, and I no longer can have my family. And while not having my family, I also couldn't stand up for myself. I could hear everything going on. I could hear them talking about me, and I could not. The loneliness is insane. Like I don't. I think about the people that are still in the hospital and having to do it by themselves and be there because we should never have to go through that. And I know that I'm not the only person that has experienced that insane isolation. And you don't have to be in the hospital to go through that. For some people during this whole lockdown, they were completely alone. They didn't have the interaction and being able to be around other people. And I need you to know we were created, human beings were created to be with other people. We have receptors that when we are hugged and when we are touched, it's healing, it's cathartic to us to do that. Just looking in each other's eyes, we create something called oxytocin, which is like this bonding hormone neurotransmitter that a mama has when she's nursing a baby or holding a bottle or looking at eye to eye. That happens automatically just looking eye to eye. And during all of this, we have been taken away from something that in the we just thrive. We need it. Like there's something called failure to thrive when an infant doesn't get that touch and everything, and it changes their growth. It changes their neurological how their brain works. Just not being able to be near each other and touch each other. So when it comes to all of this, like all of this that's going on, to get that mental health up and working like it's supposed to be, there's some steps that we have to take. And one, and I know you guys are like, just tell me about the oils, but I got to tell you about this. We have to get our bodies outside. Like there's so much healing just being in outside. We need to go outside and we need to have that sun hitting on our little faces. We literally have receptors in our skin that absorb sunlight and turn it into vitamin D. And then vitamin D goes through and does all kinds of things, including some of the happy stuff we need. So it helps to create some of that good feeling we're supposed to have. It's vitamin D. It happens when we're outside. We need to touch the ground, like literally go outside barefoot, get your toes in the grass. We need to touch it or go hug a tree. Maybe you don't have any grass around you. Go find a tree and touch it. Because when we do, all of the electrical chaos that builds up inside us is able to discharge, literally goes down into the ground. Think the grounding when you plug in something, it's got three. Well, this is a ground wire. It plugs in and the built up extra goes straight down to the ground. Well, the same thing happens to us. So we are surrounded by electrical garbage, right? We are on our phones, we are on our computers right now talking. We are surrounded by all that chaos and it bounces around and it causes chaos in our cells. It does. And when we touch the ground, it releases some of that so that that chaos isn't there anymore. So we need to get outside. We need to physically move our bodies. That is Brian, because I couldn't go through rehab with everything because everything was locked down. He bought us a pool so that I could get in there and I could be moving my body because our bodies were created and designed for that. And even according to science, so not just the natural woo-woo people, getting out and moving 10 to 15 minutes a day for some people works better than medication for things like depression. I'm not saying stop your meds. I'm saying maybe do this in addition. Get yourself out there. Nobody can tell me you are too busy for 10 minutes of movement. And if physically your body isn't ready yet, do when I got out of the wheelchair, I bounced first. I couldn't get up and go walk. I didn't have that ability, but I could bounce and I could start doing things with my arms. So get where you're doing that. Do some of the breathing exercises. We posted those from a class that we did recently, just breathing exercises that are amazing for us. Just get at work in your yard, go plant something, go dig something, go pull up the weeds, touch the dirt. It's all very cathartic and healing. So those are things that you like physically you can go do right now. Even if you're living in the city, you can get outside and like I said, find that poor skinny little tree that's growing there to go touch the tree. Let some of that discharge for you. There's also stuff that you can buy that is grounding, like I have in front of my computer here. I'll lift it so you can see it's a pad and it's a grounding pad. And so every time I'm working on my computer, it's helping that discharge to happen all the time. Please know this does not eliminate the need to get your butt outside, but it's something better than nothing, right? So a little bit is always better than anything, than nothing. So the other thing I want to talk about is input. So we talk about often because we're all about the health and wellness, and we talk about what you put in, getting the greens, changing your diet, releasing the weight, all of the things, making sure we're staying away from GMOs and all the chemicals and the toxins, right? We talk about that. But I want us to take kind of a second, a different side for just a minute. And I want us to talk about the other input. And the other input is what we're putting in our brain. What are you watching? What are you looking at? What are you reading? What is going in? What do you have playing in the background? All of that input matters. So if you are spending all of your time looking at all of the horror that is going on in the world. You're like, oh my gosh, it is awful. They said they're out to get us. They're trying to kill us. It's, oh my gosh, right? All of the fighting and the bickering and the it's gonna be, what's gonna be worse, what's gonna happen next, and we talk about it and we think about it and we talk about it and we think about it and we talk about it and we think about it, and we are literally programming all of that negative in here. And I need you to know this is the world according to Shannon. If you don't agree with me, you just skip this part and you come back in when we're talking about other stuff. But I believe thoughts are things. I believe that whatever we focus on is what we get. I believe that that is very powerful. And think about right now, we are, as a global community, focusing on death and mayhem and hatred. Like that's all you see. And it's on everything. It's about everything. And then we're like, how come it's getting so bad? Why is it so much worse? And what's gonna happen? We are saying and speaking all of that stuff all the time. But we get to choose. Like what happened with my heart, I had rheumatic fever as a kid, and it caused damage to the valves in my heart. No matter what I did, I wasn't going to be able to fix that. We didn't know it. I lived with it for a really long time. So when they finally went in and found what was going on, and I had emergency surgery and went through all that, I could have been, the world is horrible. It's not fair. Instead, it was, thank God we found it. Like I could still be miserable. I could still be literally gasping for air everywhere I go. Like, so it's the perspective. It's what am I going to take out of this moment? Right? So some things we have to change the story. We have to change the input. So when you hear yourself saying the same things all the time, and you're like bad, 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 and it's happening, rephrase. So if things are awful and they're only getting worse, what could you say instead? And I'm excited to see what the future brings. That statement right there is empowering. I'm excited to see what the future brings because none of us know. Right? It could be the best, like you tomorrow could be the best ever, and everything could change like that. But we're so caught up in the hamster wheel that it's going to get bad, it's going to be worse, it's going to be fear, scare, fear, scare. That's all that we're seeing. Right? So it doesn't mean I'm oblivious to what's happening in the world. I just choose not to constantly focus on that. I choose to see the other things. I am blessed in all things. Just own that one. When you start saying these things out loud, I am blessed in all things. I cannot wait to see what the future brings. So I am surrounded by people that see the good in things. I am surrounded by people that want more. The world is full of so many good people. The world, things are going so well because we can change things. I truly believe if we as a community, as a global community, could change some of this, we could see amazing, powerful things happen in the world. Amazing, because that's just the world according to Shannon. You guys do you. So if that's your thing, Shannon, I don't know. We're going to talk about how you can tie oils into some of those phrases. And then I also printed off, it's a compilation of different ones I've had to say when I didn't feel it. So it's really hard to get yourself back into that mentality when you slowly slip in. Being at the hospital, going through this, and then I fell and it split open, and they had to put a wound vac in me, and I'm dealing with the pain from that, and then I ended up with all of the breathing issues that were going on, and being left alone, and literally hearing the staff at the hospital say, "We're not going to do the bath on her tonight because she's probably not going to be here in the morning." Like that stuff. Apparently, I need some oils. That stuff affects you. Like, but you have to consciously decide this far and no further. I'm choosing joy. Like legitimately, and you can make that a phrase. When I said you can use your oils that way, that's one of the ones that you can say physically when you are getting overwhelmed and the world is feeling too much for you. You can literally stop what you're doing and say, I'm choosing joy, and grab your joy and say, I have joy all over the place. I have so much joy. I can share my joy. Here, want some joy? I got joy to give around. I got more than enough joy. And start saying those words. And as goofy as it sounds, because I know some of you right now are rolling your eyes at me. You know why I know? Because that's what I used to say too. So if you're in that place where you can't see a better, where you don't even know what to be able to say and you're trying to, I'm going to put these on shannonhudsonwild.com. It's just my resource page. It will be under the handouts. And I made 3 different types of affirmations. And this is just positive self-talk. So it is, I have a naturally positive internal dialogue. I speak positive about myself all the time. So I took a whole bunch of different ones that I found online. I put them just in one spot. I have the be happy affirmations. How about I'm happy? I am happy with my life. I am optimistic. I always look for good things. I look for the good in people. So things that you may not right now be able to write down and say, but you're saying opposite. So say you're always sad and depressed. I sad, nothing good happens to me. Everybody hates me. I'm going to go eat worms. And you just, oh, life is heavy. Then that would be some that you could grab and then grab some oils. Grab something like Valor, which is all about the courage. Valor is all about getting that backbone back and standing true to who you are. That's Valor. You can partner that with those. You can take that joy and partner it. Harmony. You feel like the world is coming apart at the seams. You read it, you see it, you're like, oh, I can't handle it anymore. You can start saying, I am so glad to see harmony coming back into this world. I'm so happy. My relationships are harmonious. We are blessed and highly favored. Good things happen. And take the oil and then put that, because our oils, this oil, harmony, has a frequency of harmony, of bringing that harmony, of creating that. Maybe you're homeschooling right now and you're like, dude, it's crazy. I can't handle it. The kids are bouncing off the walls. I'm bouncing off the walls. I'm hiding in closets, right? Diffuse some harmony. Put this in the diffuser. Put it in there and say, our home is a harmonious. Don't say that. Our home is full of harmony, peace. You can get your peace and calming, same thing, and use that peace and calming and say a phrase that gets you into that place, right? I am feeling so peaceful and so calm. I actually did an entire page on peaceful um, affirmation. So we can claim back what we want. And instead of putting the negative in constantly, we choose to step away from it. So we can disagree. Like you and I may have completely different beliefs on a bazillion things. But that's okay. I can still be your friend. I can still be peaceful with you. I don't have to argue and fight with you about anything. I know what I believe. And you know what? You know what you believe. And we don't have to fight and argue about that. I can choose to still be harmonious with you. I can choose to have the courage to be good and caring and understand that that's all we're really supposed to do. We don't have to agree on like everything, but you are never going to find somebody that agrees 100% with everything you believe and do. It's never going to happen. And if that's what you're waiting for the world to be a better place, then you're going to stay sad. You're going to stay in that angry place. You're going to stay in that despondent. You're going to stay, but you can choose. That's the beauty of life. We get to choose. It's a vibe called blessed. I don't know if that's looking straight for you guys, but this is the thing. We got to choose the blessing. You guys hear me say all the time, I am blessed and highly favored. I am. I'm blessed, and I believe that in my ins and my outs and all my things. I was young, I was like 19, and I heard Les Brown. If you don't know who he is, go listen to some of his stuff. It's amazing. But he's where I got that saying from. I am blessed and highly favored. That's something you need to claim because those are things we can step into. So we talked a little bit about that, getting that out. I also want to talk about hydration. We've all been locked in our homes, so we're not doing all the things that we should be doing. But I talk about water on every class I ever do because I think for the most of us, we are really dehydrated. We're just not having enough fluid. And considering your brain, your body, depending on which thing you read, 75 to 80% water. That's pretty interesting when you think about it. When you don't have enough water, one of the things your brain cannot do is it cannot utilize tryptophan. And tryptophan is an amino acid that turns itself into serotonin. And serotonin is that feel good hormone that we're supposed to have. When somebody is on an antidepressant, the medication is a serotonin uptake inhibitor, an SSRI, because we need more serotonin to be able to feel good and enjoy things. But what if it's just water is a piece of your problem? Again, not the only thing. Go walk, go do the things, right? But water. We should be drinking half our body weight in ounces of water every single day plus 20. And your soda does not count as water. I got a news flash for you. Your iced tea, sugar or no sugar, does not count as water. Do you know what counts as water? Water, water, because everything else your body has to do something to separate it. So like tea is actually considered a oh my gosh, it dehydrates. It takes water from you. And it's because your body has to use energy to separate that in the kidneys to separate the tea which was infused in the water and then leave you with water that the body can do. So your teas actually make you more dehydrated. So I'm not saying teas are bad. Like green tea, even black tea, it's got all kinds of antioxidants that are great for your body. But when it comes to hydration, you got to count water for water. And so we still to this day, we measure the water that we drink. So it's not, this is a 32-ounce glass, but if you have ice in here, you can't count the ice and the water when you empty this because you add more water and the ice is here. So that took some of it. So what Brian and I still do is we measure our water using miniature red bottles. So when our bottles are empty, we still use the bottle, we rinse it out, and we fill them up with water. These are 28 ounces. And so I have enough water, diuretic, thank you, Nikki. Um, I have enough water in the fridge with a rubber band on it that's my color so that at the end of the day, I know if I drink enough water. So I fill my glass from the Ninja Red empty bottle so I can actually count how much water. And people tell me all the time, oh, Shannon, I drink a lot of water. I've always got a water nearby. Yeah, nearby isn't in your body. So just check that because that could be a simple you're not getting serotonin because you can't have tryptophan. And actually, when you're dehydrated, a lot of amino acids cannot be used the way they're supposed to. So just things to think about. So if you are having that sadness, do a little of that. So we got get outside, we did water, we did exercise. What goes in comes out. Know where your focus goes. Sunshine. Did we talk about sunshine? I think we did a little bit. Vitamin D, the importance of vitamin D. We need vitamin D for so many different things. But when it comes to helping with just finding that energy again, that focus, I want you to know that Young Living has a phenomenal product called Super Vitamin D that y'all can't see because the light is all weird. You can't see anything I'm holding up. I don't even need to grab it. Anyways, this right here is it's yummy. So if you have issues taking pills, it's nice because it is a little chewable. You just put it underneath your tongue and suck it for a second. And then after you suck it, then you can finish it and chew it out. See, teeny tiny little one. And it tastes amazing, but it has all the parts and pieces so the vitamin D can get into your cells. So it helps with a lot of the different things. And I really encourage anybody that is starting the health journey and seeing what they can do for their health to do a little research. Research the importance of vitamin D. And since we're talking about finding your joy, go ahead, type vitamin D and joy and see what pops up for you. Type vitamin D in your joints, vitamin D in your skin, vitamin D, and look at all the different things because it's one of those, it's not actually a vitamin. Actually, it's a pro hormone. It's something that goes in and is a catalyst for all kinds of other things to happen. So it's really interesting, I think, because it's such an inexpensive addition to your regular dailies. You should try it. See what happens for you. And like I said, research it. Go and see what you can find on vitamin D. And then if it resonates, if you go, you know what? All of those things make sense. I think I'm going to try it. And then write down as you're doing it over the days what you're experiencing, how do you feel, what's changing, what's getting better. Just play with it. This is your life, this is your health, so you need to research some of that stuff. I already had this one out, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this back over. This is Ninja Red, and this is the only thing I want to tell you about this one. This is our juice, and I want you to think energy. This right here helps to give you back your energy. We have been sitting around doing nothing. when we do nothing. You know how the old saying, energy, it takes energy to make energy? Well, our NutriRod is going to give you that boost, that extra little bit of energy, not because it has caffeine, it's just because it goes in. It's got so many antioxidants. We're talking strength for all the cells in your body. So start your NutriRod, and I suggest 2 to 4 ounces a day for you and everybody in your home. So you got your kids, they're going off back to school. Give them some NutriRod. It's going to give them a little jump start so that they got that same strength in every single cell in their body. Give it to your husband as long as you like them. Just say it, share it where you need to. But 2 to 4 ounces, and I would do 2 in the morning and then do 2 sometime in the afternoon. That slump that you get in the afternoon. Another one, and I don't have any with me because it was out of stock, but it is back now. Is Ninja Nitro. These are little tubes of juicy heaven. This is it says cognitive health right on the container, and this is energy and that memory to help with that. So our brains work the way they're supposed to. It turns on everything. And then the one that partners with that cognitive health is our MindWise. Oh, y'all, I got to work on my lighting. Oh, my goodness. This is our MindWise. If you are already using NinjaRed or MindWise, tell us in the comments what you love about it. What did it do for you? MindWise is food for the brain. So if we're talking about finding that joy, and it takes neurotransmitters to send the information so that we can have things like serotonin and dopamine. And dopamine is another one of those feel-good hormones. What's the other one? When you get a runner's high happening, all of those bibbits, the brain has to be functioning the way it's supposed to for it to work, along with your gut. Like 80% of your serotonin comes directly from your gut. So this one right here, our MindWise, it says to take a teaspoon. I take more than that. I'm like glug glug glug. But I do it in a shot glass. I pour a shot of it and I take it. This is food for the brain. So if as I'm talking, you're like, ooh, that's one of the things that I need, or Shannon, that makes sense. I need that. Then put this on your essential rewards. Throw it in a cart, get it for you. If you were here right now and you're like, I have never even heard of Young Living, I have no idea what you're talking about, but somebody sent you this link, please make sure you message back to them and say, hey, she was talking about some stuff for my brain. She was talking about some juice. I need to get some brain juice. And you let that person know, and they will help you get the stuff. So make sure you get back with them. Don't just Google Young Living, because that's the person that's going to work with you and take care of you and keep educating like we're doing right now. Another one I want to throw in there is multigreens. Multigreens. I definitely got to work on that. So this is the evergreen thing. So this is the chlorophyll. This is what we're supposed to get from all that spinach and all the kale and all the green stuff. And we are supposed to eat this great variety of food, a rainbow of good food. It has all kinds of parts and pieces, and it's good for the cells. But because we don't get enough, or we're getting stuff in the store that was picked, a month ago, and we're getting it, and the longer it's been out of the ground, the less vitamins it has. So this is just supplementing those green things. But the cool thing about our multigreens is it also has in here Pacific Kelp, which is helps to increase your iodine. Your every cell in your body has a receptor for iodine. We need a lot of iodine, and that everything to do with your thyroid. T3 to T4 is just a different number of iodine molecules. So 3 iodine molecules or 4 iodine molecules. That's how it works. So this has it in there. So a lot of times the tired, the fatigue, the not energy is just your iron's not where it needs to be. So you can start eating things like seaweed. You can fish when you're eating anything that comes out of the ocean. It's got more iodine in it. And this is just a way to get some naturally. But then we go beyond it because we have all those different greens that are in here. But we also have something called Melissa essential oil. When you say that word, you are required by law to go, because Melissa is just that. It is that deep, refreshing breath. It just makes you feel good. So it's already in here. So you can get Melissa essential oil. For those of you that are kind of new to the oily world, that would be like, I would say the name, lemon balm. So when you see lemon balm used in things, that's Melissa essential oil. And it is a powerhouse oil. So you can get straight Melissa. You can also go into your back office and you can write the word Melissa when you're looking at products when you're ordering, and go under the Melissa, and you'll see a list of every single oil that Melissa is in, every single supplement that Melissa is in. So you can get that boost of Melissa with something you may already have on your shelf. So you can go in and you can do that with all the different things. So if peppermint is one that is just your thing, you're like, oh, I love peppermint. It just makes me feel good. I love how I feel when I have it. You can type peppermint, look under it, and you can see everything it's in, all the different supplements. So you're eating the peppermint, and then all the different just oils that you can use topically. So that's just a little trick for you guys. The next one I want to talk about is Super B. I'm not even trying to let you guys see it. It's not going to work, is that? So Super B is a supplement that I joke a lot that I believe I could do a 2-day seminar just on the vitamin Bs. There are 8 essential vitamin Bs that are all about, it's about your skin, it's about energy production. Like the vitamin Bs are what allow your body to absorb, utilize, and turn things like glucose, amino acids, and fats into protein, and I mean into energy in the cell. Is something called ATP, and ATP is like a credit card for energy that your whole body can use. But every time we get stressed out, every time we get worked up, every time we read something on the internet, and we get every single time somebody cuts out in front of you, all the things you see somebody with a mask or without a mask, whichever side of that universe you happen to be on, and you get all mad inside. Every time it happens, you're using up vitamin Bs. But vitamin Bs are what helps us metabolize everything you put in your mouth, every single thing for it to turn into energy. You need vitamin Bs. This one right here, when it comes to bees and the brain thinking and clarity and messages being sent and picked up, sent back and forth, you'll see some great things happening. So that's one of them. And I want to talk about our kids just for a second. I've already went to the 30-minute mark, y'all. Unwind. This is a supplement that we have that's for our kids to help them de-stress and unwind from all the garbage that's going on. And it's just a little tube, and for lack of a better way, it's like a little pixie stick, and you can have them eat this about an hour and a half or so before they go to bed, and it just helps them calm down. So if you've never used anything like this before, you may want to just give them a little half a tube and let them try it first, and then you can try more of it. So if they take it, they love it, everything is good, they go to sleep, it's great, then you can keep them on, a half and then go to a full one. So it's a great one. Then I also want to put out there a few oils. And for you adults that are trying to get into that good sleep, with all the worry and the stress that we have going on, our cortisol levels are higher because that's what happens with stress. And so we're having a hard time getting to sleep even though we're exhausted. So melatonin, which is something your pineal gland kicks out, is supposed to go in and get us sleepy and let us go to sleep. But because we're stressed and that cortisol's there, melatonin's not doing its thing. So the cool thing that we have with Sleep Essence is it has a vivid of that melatonin in there, and then it has some oils. It has ruta, it has valerian, and it has lavender, and all of those help us go to sleep and stay to sleep. So stay to sleep, stay asleep, so we can wake up feeling so much better. And then I'm going to go quick. We said harmony and we said joy. So those are ones you can use phrases. But energy. So we've been home doing nothing. Takes energy to make energy. This is a great one to partner with getting that movement going on. So you can say, I am so energetic. I've got energy. Oh, just coming out of every single cell of my body. I am covered with some energy. And then go do the things, right? So then you get up and you go do the things so that you can create that cycle, that thought process of having all that energy going on. And then we have seedlings calm. This is an oil that is designed for our kids to help them calm down. If you're stressed and you're worried and you're going through all that, it's affecting our kids. It just is. It is what it is. They hear all of that going on. So the calm is going to help with that. Put a few drops on their little feet, put it on the back of their head, put it on their back, all the good things that can happen. I have another thing, harmony. You know what I've been thinking about, right? And then our feelings kit. So with all of the stuff that's going on, it may have brought up some stuff that you haven't thought about in years. right? Some traumas that we have been through. So take that feelings kit. It's an entire beautiful kit of 6 different oils, and you can just literally open each bottle, take a few drops, put it on your head, put it right here, put it over your chest, and put it on your belly and on your little feet. And then you can just say all the different phrases. I release, I lovingly release everything that no longer serves me. So when you're using that release, you can let it go, all the arguments and stress that you went over the day, the mean things, the people blocking, all the stuff. First, I say step away from some of that. But because it's been a part of our reality for, gosh, it's been 6 months, right? So I think we all could use a little bit of release and then a little bit of forgiveness. I'm just saying, with all the stuff that's been going on, do you think that you have some things you want to forgive people for? How about some things you got to forgive yourself? Like forgiving yourself for letting that happen. Forgive yourself for letting people sink something into your life. That's you can partner with that. It's huge. And then I'm going to throw in right before I leave is a little bit of into the future because we are so blessed. And I am so excited to see all the good things that are coming, right? We can speak that as a people into the future. So blessed and excited to see all the amazing things that are coming. So I seen a couple people saying that it was going in and out. Hopefully the replay will be perfectly perfect in every way. I will the replay will stay on here, so you should be totally fine with that. It will also get posted on shannonhudsonyl.com so you can share it with people. And then what I will do from now on is while I'm doing the Facebook Live, I will just record a with a recorder, so then I can upload that one. So just in case this one is choppy, just know for the next ones we'll do better. So every Tuesday is going to be a business call, and every Thursday is going to be a health topic. So if you have some that you would like me to talk about, leave those in the comments, and I will get back to you. God bless everybody. See you at another time.